Hi, welcome to the Marley Bird YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make the Stargaze cowl using these super huge needles. They are a US size 50 needle, and that's a 25 millimeter, so you are going to have fun making this really quick knit with some fun yarn. Take a look down here, I'm going to show you what you need. We're going to be using Red Heart Boutique Twilight yarn, which is a fantastic new yarn, and it has a wonderful metallic look to it. You can tell in the sample cowl that I'm wearing, it has a fun silvery effect in this particular cowl. We're going to make this cowl doing a knit one and purl one using a US size 50 knitting needles. So this is going to go super fast, to say the least. Let's go ahead and jump in and get started. First things first, go download your pattern. It's available on redheart.com. I'll put a link to it down there in the video notes so you don't have to go searching for it. I'm going to begin doing the long tail cast on to cast on 13 stitches, but I'm going to do the long tail cast on in a little bit different method than what you've probably seen before. First things first, we're going to put a slip knot onto our needle. So I'm resting the yarn onto the palm of my hand. I'm going to take the working yarn, I'm going to wrap it around my forefinger and my middle finger, come up, cross over. When I cross over, I'm going to turn my left hand, go underneath the first one, grab the second, and pull up. I'm going to show you that one more time. I have the tail in the palm of my hand. I'm going to take the working yarn over my forefinger, my middle finger. As I come back up, I cross over, rotate my hand, come underneath the first one, grab the back one, and pull. I'm going to place that onto my knitting needle. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tail, I'm going to wrap the tail around my thumb, okay? So I've wrapped the tail, I'm going to take my knitting needle, I'm going to go up the thumb, grab my yarn just like if I were knitting, I'm going to wrap my needle just like I were knitting, and I'm going to take my thumb and go up and over the knitting needle and off my thumb, okay? Adjust, go up my thumb, wrap the yarn around my needle, take the stitch that's on my thumb, up and over, and off. Do it again. Up my thumb, wrap my knitting needle, up and over, and off. Wrap my thumb, come up, around, take my thumb over, and off. Okay, I want to get a total of 13 stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and move along, doing it in this method. Let's count our stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I need one more. So up my thumb, around, out, and off. Okay, so I have all of my stitches right here nicely done on my knitting needle. You can see that as I put my knitting needle into my left hand, just like when I do a regular long tail cast on, I have all of my really pretty purl stitches sitting right there ready to go. Now the instructions say we're going to begin with a knit one, purl one, 6 times, and we're going to end with a knit one. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go into this stitch. Now you can see here, right here at the beginning, I'm having a hard time getting into that stitch, right? Because these are really big needles. So what you need to do is move this stitch down towards the tapered portion of the knitting needle. Now go into this stitch, yarn over, pull through, and when you pull through, really take that opportunity to push the knitting needle up through that loop, and it'll make that loop the size you need it to be. Have the stitch from the left hand needle jump off and carry on. So I'm going to scooch this one up to the tapered edge, and it's time to purl. So I want to make sure I bring my yarn. These are big, so you need to make sure you handle them pretty with some care. Bring my yarn between my needles to the front. I'm going to go into the stitch, yarn over top, just like this, as if I was purling, because I am purling. Take my knitting needle out of that stitch on the left hand needle and off. Move my yarn between the needles, back to the back, and I'm going to go ahead and knit the next stitch. So I'm in, around, out, off, purl the next stitch, so I bring my yarn forward, and I go in as if to purl, yarn over my needle, come out and off, yarn between my needles, come back over here, bring my needle down to the tip without losing it. You don't want to lose it, but it just makes it easier for your right hand needle to get into that stitch. Bring your yarn forward. I need to get myself some more slack here. And I'm going to purl. Once you know how to do this, back and forth, you will continue on doing the knit one, purl one, and working the stitches as if they're presented. Meaning beyond this row, you will knit your knits and you will purl your purls. So once you understand what a knit stitch looks like and what a purl stitch looks like, you won't have to really look at your pattern anymore. If you're looking at a knit stitch, you'll knit it. If you're looking at a purl stitch, you'll purl it. And you'll just keep going until your cowl measures the length you want it to. Once it's all done, what you're going to do is you'll match up the short ends of the cowl and you will sew those pieces together, okay? And so that's what closes the cowl. I'm telling you all this as I'm going along just so that you can understand where we're going to be going beyond this section, but I want to go on to the next row with you because I want you to understand what the knit stitches look like and what the purl stitches look like. So that way you can carry on. I'm at the end of the row. I'm going to set that aside and give myself some more slack of the yarn. As I pull this down and I put it into my left hand, you can see here I ended with a knit stitch. So my very first stitch as I turn is a purl. You can see my purl bump right there. My next stitch, you don't see a purl bump there, right? You see a knit. You see that nice elongated stitch. So that is a knit stitch. Then you see a bump. So that's a purl. You see a nice elongated V, or not elongated, but a nice V stitch. So that is my knit. I see a purl, so that's a purl. I see a V, so that's my knit, so on and so forth. So without looking at the pattern, knowing I'm keeping this knit one, purl one rib, and knowing I'm going to knit my knits and purl my purls, I don't have to look at it anymore. So right here, this first one's a purl. So I'm going to go into the stitch like I'm purling, yarn over, come out and off, bring my yarn between my needles, and I knit the next one. Why do I knit? Because I know that this is a knit stitch right here, and I'm going to knit my knits and purl my purls. So I go ahead and I knit between my needles. It's kind of hard with these big needles. Go into the stitch and purl because it had a purl bump, so it's going to be a purl between my needles and knit the next stitch. Can you see how that works? Here's my purl bump for the next stitch, so I know it's a purl. Bring my yarn forward and purl the stitch and off. I'm going to set this down. If I was carrying on, the next stitch would be a knit, so I move it to the back. But you can see it starts to stack the knits right here, stacks the purls, and it'll be the same thing on the reverse side. That's it. Now you know how to make the Stargaze Cowl. This is a super quick and fun knit. If you go and grab some of this boutique twilight yarn available over at redheart.com or a local store near you, you can make something in an evening, throw it around your neck, and have something super beautiful on as you go out for the evening. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and you'll come back for more videos right here on the Marley Bird YouTube channel and participate in more of the My First with Marley Bird. If you hit subscribe, you'll be up to date whenever there's a new video release, and make sure you smash that like button, as my kids say, to let other people know that you enjoyed this video. I'm Marley Bird, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.